Of course, when my brother-in-law, we all lived together, and I ain't in no hurry. When it comes
Right.
back, he can come get out.
Get gone. All right, so we gon' Dan don't know this yet, but first of all, this is my best friend in the whole wide world right here.
Goes back a long way.
Yeah, and we're gonna sit around that fire in just a minute, and I'm gonna put my camera on the tripod, and we're gonna tell some stories.
All right.
Huh? But there ain't. This will be the best episode of Follow the Fanchers that there is. And there ain't many people that can say they got a best friend. And a lot of people got 5 or 6 best friends. And I'm not gonna say that. To me, if you got 5 or 6 best friends, you really ain't got a best friend. Cause I ain't got. Yeah, I ain't got 5 or 6. But I hadn't seen Dan in several months because we both got families and he works and I work. But he killed a couple deer this afternoon. Yes, I said a couple deer this afternoon. And I come down here.
All on private land.
That's right. And I come down here and we skint deer and we can talk and catch up and just like we ain't never missed a beat. So in a minute we're gonna tell some stories. So Dan, they had hog barns down here back how long has it been? I mean, Aiden's 18.
96 to 2000 and probably 14 or 15.
96 to 2015. And when we were hunting down here so much, they were fairly new, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah. So we'll this is one of the barns that they emptied out. And they just made a place for all their equipment. They got a big farm down here. I'm sorry, I can't hardly talk. I done got my O2 fell out again. I'm tired of sticking it back in there, so I can't half talk. But anyway, we're gonna gather up in a minute. We're gonna tell some stories.
When we started this, we run anywhere from 800 to 1,000 hogs per barn times 4 barns.
And there's 4 barns.
And we had about 100 head of cows.
How many cows y'all have down here now?
We ain't got but about 10.
Really?
But my daddy's 83 years old.
83. I didn't realize he was that much older than my dad. So we're gonna tell some stories here in a minute. Yeah, so I did that interview, and it may be the one I did with Cuz Strickland.
Yeah, it was.
But then I don't know if you saw Brad die. Did you see Brad die when we was in Daddy's shop?
Yeah, I did.
That was a good one. So Brad is the I can't hardly talk, my dang mouth. That tooth is gone. You see it?
I see you. I see you too.
But Brad is he writes, I think, for the Meridian Star. He lives over there at the Billy Hull place.
Yeah.
You know the old Billy Hull place?
I seen that one too.
Yeah.
I watched it.
That was a good one, I thought. It was good to me.
Well, Slade, you said something a while ago about friends. I told my daughter one time, you're only gonna have 1 or 2 true friends in your life. You're gonna have a lot of friends and a lot of acquaintances, but you're never gonna have 1 or 2 true friends. And true friends, or it don't matter when you see them or how long it's been, you can pick up, you can call them, and they're always there. Yep. And
I mean, because me and Dan hadn't seen each other in probably
it's been 6 months.
Yeah, at least.
I come over there to look at your trailer, your camper.
Yeah. And then I came over here a night or 2 after,
right.
just to see where you keep your horses and stuff over there. And then,
but you don't have but 1 or 2 true friends. And I've lost one of my best ones. And there's things that, like I told the guy the other day, as long as we don't go to telling on each other,
we'll be all right. Dan and I first met Dan, I guess I was in high school. I was a senior in high school. And we had a mutual friend. His name was Jonathan Stringfellow. He's a preacher now. And Jonathan was a cowboy and Dan was a cowboy, but I really wasn't a cowboy at all. I was a baseball player and just went to school. But Jonathan would come out here to Nanawari and he'd go roping. So it wasn't long. I started coming out here and I started riding a horse a little bit and stuff like that. And remember, I got real hurt up my senior year in high school, broke my face all up, kind of like I am now. And I had some purple Wranglers and I had some cherry colored Wranglers.
I remember it all. Cause
Yeah.
I won't never forget when you went to work with us up there at the power company.
Yeah, and that was probably, that was 5 or 6 years after I graduated. And then I got Dan was already a lineman in the EMEPA. And then I got hired on at the EMEPA, and then I come to work up there.
And I told him he wasn't up with no city
boy, yeah. And then after that, Dan and I, to start with, we didn't work on the same crew. I worked on a crew with Wiley Collins, and Dan worked on a crew with Wayne Luke. And then, I don't know, I'd been there for a little while, and then they swapped stuff up, and we got started working together. And
That's when we started hunting together.
Yeah. We went and worked some storms together, went and worked Hurricane George, went and worked a big ice storm in Arkansas.
Yep.
That was awful, I thought. That's probably one of the worst storms ever.
We worked all week and turned on 3 customers.
Yep. I worked over in the Delta
Yep.
for a little while. Anyway, and then we had an awful Christmas ice storm here in Mississippi. I have no idea what year it was, but it was bad.
It's gonna have to be around 94, 95.
Really?
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask you.
My girl was about 3 years old.
I was gonna ask you some of the things you remember, but I remember Dan and I was working out Highway 14, out there about where Travis lived, and we just climbed up a pole and we changed a set of double cross arms, and you probably won't remember it.
I do.
But we climbed up there and changed that set of double cross arms, put pole top pins on it, got the wire all hung back up, climbed down, got all our stuff off, and a top fell out of a pine tree and broke every bit of it.
And my
Right
feet
back
were
down.
so cold that when I got in the truck and they went to thawing out, I went to crying
Yeah.
because they hurt so bad.
Bad. But the work stories suck. I hated it.
Yeah.
So, but it ain't near
But
as good as
the
the
hunting
hunting
relationship
stories.
and the friendship that we got out of all of it is worth more than all the work.
Man. It was.
The ducks that we killed in the scatters and the ducks that we killed down here in East Little.
We went to Mount Mesa where he's talking about the scatters, and me and Charlie Moody was actually looking it up on the internet the other day. We whacked some ducks there. The ducks we killed right out the back door here. This is a huge, big swamp right here.
This is where the Pearl River starts.
Yeah, this is where the Pearl River heads up. Man, we killed the ducks, me and you and Charlie and Britt Bookout and my cousin that's a game warden now, Philip Fancher and Scott Huffman and Rusty Foster, and man, it was just we just killed them. I had a yellow lab at that time. Her name was Cam, and Lordy mercy.
You know, I won't never forget when we went to the scatters and we killed all them ducks and we had to feed her chocolate to get her sugar back.
Yeah, that's right.
Because she retrieved so many ducks from us. There's about 6 of us up there then.
Killed a fox squirrel right out here. Remember?
Right.
Remember we had that fox squirrel?
The best story we got of is the 2 snow geese we killed out here in the middle of the pasture that you and Charlie Moody went out there head to butt and acted like a cow walking across the
2
pasture.
snow geese. There was 2
snow geese in the whole pasture.
Yep.
And y'all walked all the way across that pasture
Like a
at
cow.
least 500 yards,
Yep,
like
I
a
forgot
cow,
about
and
that.
got within, I don't know, 30 yards of them and killed
Yep.
both ducks.
Killed
And I've got a picture of
Yep.
it, but I'd have to look hard and long to find it. But that's probably the best story we got on killing something like that.
Dan had a camper down here. We had a place fixed up to cook and eat. Man, we killed a bunch of ducks. We fed a bunch of ducks and killed a bunch of ducks and shot rabbits, and
It was just good old country boy
Yeah,
times.
that was
Just,
it.
You know,
I was probably just getting married. I don't know that was I married?
no, you wasn't married yet
Yeah.
because I was married, but you wasn't.
Yeah.
And then I was in your wedding.
Yeah. It wasn't long after that, yeah. And I mean, it was just years we came down here. And then my most memorable time with Dan was in 2000 and I think it was 6 when you killed your elk.
Gonna be 6 or 8.
6. But anyway, Dan went elk hunting. Well, so Dan went to Silverton,
2
Colorado
years.
with me 1 year, and he didn't hunt. He was just like a camp buddy. And I'll tell you this. I know this is a family channel, but I'd go hunt this way, and Dan would go hunt this way, and we'd come back to camp at night. And I came back to camp. You can't build a fire up there.
You can't burn that pine. It's pine, but you can't burn that pine.
And when you do get it going, it burns. You remember how fast it burns
fast.
up.
And once it heats up, it'll burn.
Yeah,
But it's
well, we had-
hard to get it going.
We had killed a squirrel, and Dan ate the first of the front half of the squirrel, and I got the back half of the squirrel.
With ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles, yep. And remember, I had that little bitty thing of Tabasco sauce out of that MRE.
Yep.
And we ate that, and Dan said, Slade, he said, I'm here as long as you want to be here, but I ain't taking another damn step in his house till we get ready.
I'd had enough.
To get out of here. I'd had enough. But the next year he went to New Mexico with us.
You know, you go back to that story. The funniest part about that story is when we first parked our truck, we seen
the
a bear
down
in the hollow before where we was headed.
It was
And
the
then
evening we got into town.
Yep, and we found out that a apple truck had
Yeah.
turned over in that curve.
A 53-foot van.
Green
All that
apples.
was hard, my right? But yeah, it had turned over in that bad curve right there. That's right.
And probably some of the best eating I've ever ate up there at Handlebars.
Oh man,
Best steak
that was
in Rocky
all
Mountain
that.
Oysters. First time I ever ate them.
Had a waitress named Nicole. I'll never forget it.
Sure was. Best eating I ever ate.
Uh,
Nice little old town.
I was this far from killing that bear. We didn't have a tag, but I was from Mississippi, and there was a big old bear down there.
Big
And I
old
said,
bear.
"Well, I'm finna try to kill it," you know. But we went to New Mexico the next year. Dan went with us. We hunted the Ojo Feliz at that time. Is what we hunted the west side of the road. The Primos bunch hunts the east side of the road. Is 101,000 acres. And it was 52,000 acres on the side of the road we hunted on. Dan borrowed a bow from my dad, and
I shot it for a month before
Yep.
we went.
and we loaded up. I killed an elk probably day 3 or 4. Dad had killed a bull. I think that's it. Me, you, and Dad killed bulls.
John David had shot it
Yeah,
one,
shot
but we
one.
couldn't find it.
Tim Smith was with us on that trip.
No,
Was
it
he
was
not?
just us
It was
four.
just us
Just
four?
me and you and John David and your daddy.
So the last morning, me and Dan took off to go hunt and got up there. It was after daylight, wasn't it?
By the time we got there,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
we wanted to be, and heard one.
I had forgot my bugle tube, so I cut the bottom out of a 16-ounce water bottle, and that's what I used as a bugle tube. Yep. And the bull answered us, and long story short, looked up, and here he come. He come right to us, and Dan shot him and missed him. I thought this much. He shot in front of him, and the bull wheeled and made a big old turn. And I noticed when the bull was running out of this little meadow, his head was kind of going down, you know. I got back there, Dan, he was nervous. He got him a cigarette out.
One of two within 5 minutes.
He was trying to smoke that cigarette, and I was like, shh, we need to be quiet. And then we heard him do his death moan, remember?
Because when he done it, I said, "What in the world was that, Slade?" I was old country boy. I ain't never heard no elk do nothing like that.
I said, "He's dead right there." And he's like, "What?" I said, "That sucker's dead right up there." And sure enough, he didn't go.
No,
He went
when
through
I
his-
pulled it, I dropped my shoulder. I won't never forget. I dropped my shoulder to look to see where my arrow was, which is a bow hunter.
The bull had his leg up kind of like
Which
this.
is a bow hunter that knows that that's the worst thing you can do. and I'd hit him in his jugular
Yeah.
vein.
It hit him.
Went
Well,
in
actually,
his-
remember it
hit him in his back shoulder.
It went right up,
Yep.
right above his elbow, where his front elbow would be.
I never
and
knew
then
an
went
arrow
through
could
right
do
here.
that much damage.
Yeah. And he just it actually cut his esophagus and his jugular. It was with his blood trailing him.
He didn't go what, a
everywhere.
quarter mile.
Shoot, he didn't
If
go
he
near
went that far.
Yeah, he didn't.
He
I
didn't go
don't.
far.
I don't figure he went 150 yards. You remember how sick you got when we was gonna gut him?
Oh yeah, big old animal. I was used to gutting little white-tailed deer. I didn't know you had to
man.
crawl up in him to get him gutted.
Yeah. We hooked our trailer. We went all the way back. Hooked our trailer to my 4-wheeler at
Mm-hmm.
that time.
And was able to get right
How
to
did we
him.
get him? Did we drag
Yeah,
him
we
up?
was
Did
right. We
drag
was
him up?
able to get right to him because he was just right on the edge of a little meadow that was in
Yeah.
which we'd call a field here, but it was just
It's
a little
meadow,
meadow
Yeah.
right there in the middle of the woods, and he was just right on the edge of it. We could drive right up to him.
Yeah, we kind of got in the edge of the woods, and then I don't know. I couldn't do it now, especially big a bull as that was. But we was young. Me and Dan drug him up on
That's it.
the trailer, and out of there we went. Left the next day. Took pictures of him. I still got
No,
pictures
we
of us.
left that evening.
Did we leave that evening?
Yes, sir. That was the last hunt, and I had done shot and missed several elk that week. That was the last morning we could hunt, and we left that evening, headed out.
What was
Because
those
I had
guys'
actually,
name that
I
hunted
had
with us?
actually flew out there to hunt with y'all because I couldn't leave
That's right.
when y'all
That's right.
left.
What was the Mexican's name that hunted with us? You
I
remember?
don't remember what his name was. He was sort of the
Albert.
he was sort of the guy that was overseeing the ranch for the guy that we was hunting on.
I think his name was Albert. Yeah, man, that was a good one. That's the last time Dan's been.
That's the last time I've gone.
time.
It's the only thing I've ever killed with a bow.
Turned the boat over one morning back here. Me and him, me, Dan, Scott Huffman, and Rusty Foster.
We was in 2 P-rows and an aluminum 10-foot boat.
Yeah. What did they turn over?
Rusty turned over one of the P-rows and had a
so
shotgun go down in the bottom of the
It was like a Belgian Browning.
Browning,
Yeah,
yes.
like a humpback. We
And,
never did find it, did we?
Yes, we did.
Did we?
He wasn't gonna leave till we found it. I was wet, he was wet, we was all wet before it was over with. Come back and built a fire and warmed up after we done killed a limit of ducks. But
I remember Scott Huffman was sitting in that P-row. I remember it like it was yesterday. And when he had his waders on in that P-row, you got your legs straight out like this, and the water just come in there,
on top
come
of
in
it.
there on him, and he wasn't able to get up. You remember? He couldn't get up, and I mean,
We had to help him up.
oh, it was so funny, man.
You know, he had a pair of my gloves for 3 years,
That's
and he
right.
finally returned them to me one day. I seen him. I got your gloves.
Man, we killed some ducks back there. Golly. I mean, a bunch of them.
You know, you don't think when you hunting like we hunted, you didn't think you was killing many ducks.
No,
'Cause
we didn't have
were-
phones then either.
We
I'd
didn't
like to
have
have all these
phones
pictures.
to take
Yeah.
pictures, and we didn't take a lot of pictures.
Well, I always had that 35 millimeter camera,
And-
you know.
But I went back through some of the old pictures we've got, and we killed a lot more ducks than we realized we did. You know, not a lot of green
Bunch
heads.
of 'em, yeah.
You know, a lot of.
Bunch of them. But we worked at it too. I mean, it was an all day ordeal.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. I remember the first time we used a robo duck. You remember it? First
Mhm.
time ever.
I thought that was the grandest thing I'd ever seen.
I did too.
You used to all them jerk cords, and you go to a robo duck, and you didn't know what to expect. And then it got to where all the robo ducks was out, and the ducks were scared of them, so
Yeah.
we went back to the
To
jerk
the
cord.
jerk cord. We killed them in Grenada there at Mount Mason. Remember old Nathan? I talked to him a month or so ago.
Man, we'd go in there and spend the night
Yeah. In a
Yeah.
boat. Sometimes just on the ground.
on the ground, walk all the way in there. We rode a 4-wheeler in there about
Far as you
halfway. We
could.
thought that was the grandest thing we'd ever done.
Then we had to float across that ditch on our decoys.
Float across it, then get in there, and you had somebody hunting across the water from you that was mad at you because you got in there before they did.
I had never taken y'all to my place there in McCool, but Dad's got some land there in McCool. Dan killed a good buck there one time, eating lunch in his truck.
Shot him out the side of my door.
Yeah.
I opened my door and that was what I propped on, a nice 8-point.
And I know y'all don't believe this. I am normally not an accident-prone person at all. But in the last month, I've had the flu, I've had stitches in my arm, and now this with my face. But I'm not an accident-prone person. But Aiden was probably 2 or 3. He was in a car seat. And my dad's got an old silo up there that we turned into a camp house, and Dan was up there hunting. I think I just wanted to get out of the house, so I come up there.
No, we were up there actually working on it when we were turning it into a
to a camp
yeah,
house.
because I was come up there to help you wire it and do work on it. That's
And
what
we got
was
ready to
actually
leave,
doing.
and I pull out on the gravel road, and Aiden was crying back in the car seat, so I kind of reached behind me like this, and next thing I know, I run off that old deep ditch and turn my truck upside down.
In the ditch. It was on the side, and I had my truck. And I tried
Dan
to pull
comes
you
running
out.
down the road. Me and Aiden, Dan's got a picture of us sitting up on. We were sitting up on the bottom of the truck. Yeah. Crazy.
We ended up having to get the neighbor tractor to get you out. And I guess you wasn't a thing wrong with it. A few scratches on the side.
Broke
That's
the mirror. That's about
That's it.
all. But
Yeah,
Man,
but we was actually up there turning the silo into
Where
a
we
cabin
in
thing.
the
That's
campfire?
what we was doing. Now we might have hunted some, but we were actually working on it too when we in between hunts.
man, stories. We
And
got
then me
some
and
stories.
you and Aiden and my oldest boy Channing all camped out under the big tree up there.
Yeah, a bunch.
Killed some
I forgot about
squirrels.
that.
Caught some fish in the creek, cooked them.
Was you with me and Charlie when we killed them 30-something wood ducks that afternoon? I had Aiden out there on the dog stand and we walked.
No, I wasn't
you
with
and
y'all
us?
then.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me about it, but I didn't get to go
Man.
on that one.
Aiden was a little bitty fella. I'd put him on my back and I'd take a dog stand out here to this place. We were shooting roost ducks at that time. Man, the ducks come in there and me and Charlie shot them some with guns. And
You know, my
golly.
daughter Morgan, that's the first deer she ever killed was up there.
Was over there? Oh, sitting
up
in the
there.
road on the river.
And
Yeah.
we was sitting in that
Yep.
little old stand y'all had had there
That's
for
right.
so many years.
Mhm.
It wasn't but head high, you know. And that's when she
That's
killed it
right.
with a 243.
Yep. I remember. Golly, I forgot all about that.
That's the first deer she ever killed was up there. But we'd always go over there on Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day.
Labor Day weekend. And that's the weekend we'd spend
No,
all.
was it
What was on September?
Labor Day?
September.
September. Yeah.
We
yeah.
would spend all weekend because
Yeah.
we'd be off within 3
Yeah.
days, and I'd load up a gooseneck trailer, take a tractor, and we'd spend the
Go around
night,
and work.
cut fields, and get it all ready to go.
Then we'd go elk hunting. Then when we come back, it's
Time
It's
to go
time
deer
to-
hunting.
time to go deer hunting, duck hunting.
That's it.
But the duck hunting's probably some of my fondest memories. I just enjoy it. I wish my kids won't never know what it was like.
Mine either.
You know, time
We'd
to-
always have a big cooking at the last weekend of duck season
Yeah.
down here.
Well, we cooked. a
We
bunch
cooked all the
All
time.
the time, yeah.
We'd invite all the folks that we, were friends with. I
So
know
I-
one year we had 3 different groups that hunted in 3 different places. down here.
yeah. I'll show y'all this. I saw this a while ago. I had forgot all about it. So this right here is a potato cutter. So you put your potato in there like that right there. That's little like rubber fingers, and then it mashes the potatoes right through there, just like that.
French fries.
McDonald's French fries come out just like that. So anyway, it's not gonna still smoking, but
As bad as it was.
no, it ain't near as bad as it was. So. All right, well, I'm about to store it out.
About time for you to go to the house and go to bed.
Yeah, it's my bedtime.
Past your
Tell
bedtime.
me. It gets about 8:30. I'm normally. What time is it anyway?
Man, I don't
It
know.
feels like it's dead gum late. So
9
All right.
o'clock.
oh, it's late. So, all right, there's my tooth. Appreciate y'all following the Fanchers. I've been wanting y'all to meet old Dan, so there's old Dan. We'll see y'all.